if you didn't watch this game, you just saw the final score, you might be like, oh, what a great game, went to overtime. You have no idea what happened in this game. Let me pause Stephen A. Smith's dumbass real quick.
Well,
so in the last, go ahead.
Sports books. If you're at the sports books, and depending on who you had money on, or if you had money on the total, it's 26-21. Bills are driving, less than 2 minutes left. They are 4th and 4. Allen breaks 3 and manages to barely get the first down. But then Allen throws a bad screen pass when he's under pressure. It's 4th and 14, minute 30 seconds left. So if you're an under better, you're thinking you're ready to cash. The Chiefs bet you're ready to cash. And all of a sudden, wide open wide receiver, touchdown. And so all of a sudden you're like, oh my God. And then of course, then the Chiefs go right down and score a touchdown. And so you're like, oh, wonderful. And it's still like only a minute, 48 seconds left. And what do the Bills do? They go right down and score a touchdown. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to lose this bet this way. I mean, even Joe Romo was Romo was sitting there. Was sitting there talking about, oh, this game is over with 13 seconds left. He's like, wow, what an amazing comeback for the Bills, and so on. He didn't think it was even possible. He wasn't even mentioning the idea that in 13 seconds they could drive the ball 50 yards to kick a 46-yard tying field goal. And then that's exactly what happened. And then the big mistake Josh Allen made, he picked the wrong side of the coin. Couldn't win the coin flip.
Yes. And now that's what everyone's talking about. Now everybody is talking about we have to change the playoff overtime rules because of this one game, right? Because of this one game, because of how it ended, people are now like, we need to change the rules, which I'm not a big fan of the NFL overtime rules necessarily. But you know what? It sucks that Josh Allen didn't get the ball back. But
I'm not a big fan of the NFL overtime rules either. But what I do think is it motivates teams to not play for overtime. It motivates teams to be a little more aggressive, to not be there. And again, it doesn't take away the problem that, yes, it does suck. Josh Allen literally just didn't get a chance to even try. But that's I think that it's designed to try to motivate teams to try to be a little more aggressive in those moments instead of going for the tie, going for the win.
That was the perfect way to cap off the best ever divisional rounds of the playoffs, was that last 2 minutes in Buffalo, where everybody's yes, oh my God, oh yes, oh my God, oh yes.
I messaged Jeremy because I said I'm gonna make a video when this ends, and then it goes to overtime, and he's like, I guess you're not gonna make one. And I sent him 2 thumbnails that I had made as I was watching the last 2 minutes. One was Mahomes screaming and Josh Allen looking like this, and the other was Josh Allen screaming and Mahomes looking like this. Because I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I wanted to be ready to make the video. And when you look at this last 2 minutes, you had 4 scores in the last 2 minutes of this game. 3 of them were touchdowns. 1 of them was a game-tying field goal. And it's the way that it happened. Like you said, Robert, they're on 4th down and 14, I think it was. They end up hitting Gabriel Davis in the back of the end zone for a touchdown, get the 2-point conversion to make it a 3-point game. And then less than 50 seconds, well, about a little over 50 seconds later, Tyreek Hill gets loose in that Bills secondary and just burns them all and waves goodbye because he knows no one's catching him, scores a touchdown. You're thinking, holy shit. Then the Bills march right back down and score with 13 seconds left. At that point in time, Kansas City, listen, they had 2, right? They had 2 timeouts. They had 3 timeouts, so they can stop the clock. I have watched Matty Ice back before then people actually called him that, when it actually fucking meant something, like his 2nd season in the NFL. I watched him, score, like take them down, get them in field goal range with like 10 seconds on the clock one time. So I was thinking about that, but that would mean going to the corner. That's what he had to do back then. They had the middle of the field available to them. When you have those kind of weapons, when you have the kind of weapons like Kelsey and Hill and, even McKinnon. I talked about McKinnon, how I thought he was going to be an X factor for them now that he's healthy. He was great when he played. You get these guys, it makes it very tough, especially when you're trying to protect the corners.
With Andy Reid. Because that first play was brilliant. Like, he's like, I'm going to call basically a wide receiver screen that everybody, it extends out, that pushes everybody up the field and get the first 20, 25 yards. Because if I get that, then I just need 1 pass, and I'll probably have 2 plays to make that 1 pass. Because he had a great kicker. Now, this was the same kicker that missed an extra point earlier in the game, missed a field goal earlier in the game. One of the great legs in all of pro football. But, it wasn't like, you were a little nervous about what was going to happen. But the other thing is Kelsey is just so dominant, and how you let Kelsey be the guy to get you there at the end. I mean, I get you're worried about Tyreek Hill, you're worried about, and the key to Kansas City offensive surge second half of the season is they really developed Pringle, they really developed Hardeman, they added, as you mentioned, the additional running back, and that combination lifted everybody back to where they were. But it was Andy Reid coming up with that first great play right out of the gate. Because with that, if that play doesn't work, you're at your 25-yard line with 8 seconds left. That play does work, whole ball game. All you need, one more play, boom. You almost knew Mahomes was going to get it. And then it goes to Kelsey, and then Kelsey knows how to turn it up and then get down. He doesn't make the mistake of continuing to try to run, which could have run out the clock. He knew I need to get as many yards as possible, then get down as soon as I see contact coming. And then they saved their timeouts and hit the kick. And then
I want to talk about this really quick. This right here,
yes.
This right here says so much, and I'm not going to play the audio from it because we'll probably get hit. No one in the NFL, but this right here just says so much about Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, but more so Patrick Mahomes. He's getting mobbed by his team, and his mindset is to go find Josh Allen and congratulate him. This is great. This is just awesome. So there's Mahomes being mobbed by his team. You can only imagine the emotions, that going through his head. But he's like,
a few seconds before, they'd showed Chris Jones on the sideline being head down, like, "Oh my God, we lost."
Yeah. And there he goes now. He's off to the races, and he's like, "I got to go find Josh Allen." And I can't even imagine what it'd be like to run through that sea of people, and try to find him.
Drop his helmet. Yeah.
There it is right there. That's good shit right there, man. That is what it's all about. It
was crazy. And Josh Allen did everything he could. He played, he didn't play a perfect game, but he made every play when he had to. He did everything. And to lose that, it's rough. That's definitely tough. But I think it was Mike Golick Jr. potentially that made a statement that was like, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are this generation's Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. That's a hell of a statement to make before a game like this. It's a hell of a statement. He made it before this game.
Yeah.
And it certainly looks like, we might be in for something like that in the future.
Look at this. Look at